I would like to present to you the world premiere of a new musical, Mi Casa. Mi Casa, this is my home. It's where my heart is, mi corazón.
It's mi casa, this is my home. It's where my heart is.
Mi Casa is a story about an Argentinian immigrant in the 1980s to Eastern Canada who has to defend her place at a university amidst the worst bout of immigrant panic that is present in recent history in this part of the world. I've always wanted to write a musical. I've tried it before, it didn't work out. But then I looked around, and I remember it was just out in the JDH cafeteria, and there were so many international students, specifically Latin American international students, who, I don't think have ever really gotten their chance to have their story told. I have such a personal connection to immigration to this country, and so I just got to work. And then one thing led to another. I got thinking, I genuinely think this should be a musical. It feels like the kind of story that deserves those kinds of epic highs and lows. It deserves that level of connection to our culture, since music is such an important part. Music and dance is such an integral element of Latin American identity. And that's when I found Camilo Villamizar-Baéz.
We met at the Commons, and we were just talking back and forth about the immigrant experience and how does it feel when you arrive here, and through that we started sort of putting together this thing where there has to be a call to action, there has to be some kind of risk, some kind of swing that needs to be taken, and then we sort of separated, because we still had regular meetings, but he was incredibly busy with writing and I was incredibly busy with music.
An incredible thing happens when you take something that looks brilliant on a page and then you hand it to an actor. An incredible thing happens where as soon as they say it out loud, it sounds awful. It sounds stilted, it doesn't sound natural. The actor has to really fight a lot of their natural impulses to get through the words. And you realize, I felt really good about that, and I'm really glad that I let someone else work with it, because I know it sucks, and I don't want it to.
I know.
We would get the actors to present it in rehearsals, knowing for a fact that this might not be in the final product, because the final product was never the main conceit. The final product was kind of a happy byproduct.
Every tuba together. Okay, 1 tuba.
We had so many wonderful people in the cast who had never done musical theater before, who ended up absolutely killing it. That was the biggest thing about the performances, was just being able to look at people in the cast who had been so nervous at the beginning of the year, who maybe had shed a tear in anxiety or in fear when auditioning, or in the anticipation of auditioning, who then were there absolutely belting their socks off, people giving them standing ovations. It was a sight to behold.
It's just been such a wonderful experience. When this work was first presented and Lucas introduced me as a composer, I told the room that I'm more of a rehabilitated grunge musician than a composer. But it's been such a wonderful experience. I've never done work with a big group of people like this. To me, it seems impossible. Like I'm used to coordinating, 4 or 5 musicians, to coordinate this amount of people, and then, also being new to the world of theater, just to see how much goodwill and how much heart goes into it. It was really moving and just a really good life lesson altogether. I'm fully in love with theater and theater people. It's a wonderful labor of love.
It's access to these kinds of public sources of support that anybody can apply for, that anybody can use to get their work off the ground is incredibly important. I think that the government standing behind artists, especially as we try to create work that speaks to our culture, speaks to change that we want to see in the future, I think that's one of the most important things, and it's something that without it, we would live in a much bleaker society. When we can no longer talk, we sing. And when we can no longer sing, we dance. The way you know the Jets' finger snaps or the specific choreography in Billy Elliot or the Russian kick in Fame, that's something that, like, you know, I can't wait till we find the choreographer that can bring that to life and create some truly kind of iconic choreography that would be like, as much as the dialogue is perfectly tailored for the story and the music is perfectly tailored for the story, I can't wait till the point where we can see other people sampling choreography from this show.
This is my